G back with some WWE Botches video, highly requested on the channel, guys. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Yeah, we're gonna check out some botches today. See what everything's all about. Maybe I'll do a compilation of these. Shout out to Wrestlelamia for these videos. They're awesome. And you guys go check his channel out. It's like he does amazing work on his YouTube channel. So, but before we get into this, I will be doing some videos this week. So look out for them. And yeah, let's go ahead and get right into this thing. WWE Botches.
Botches are unfortunately a natural part of pro wrestling, but certain botches have resulted in wrestlers being seriously punished. No wrestler is immune to botches, but when that botch is serious, WWE management are left with no choice but to punish that specific wrestler in a manner they see fit. Join us now as Wrestlelamia looks at 10 WWE botches that resulted in serious punishment for a wrestler. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos, and follow us on Facebook for exclusive lists. Also check out our new channel, Wrestlelamia Shorts.
Wrestlelamia, son.
Number 10, Alex Riley. Upon Alex Riley turning on The Miz in 2011, it looked like Riley was going to be one of the future stars of the company. Riley would defeat The Miz at the Capital Punishment pay-per-view, and it was reported at the time that he was set for a major push. However, on the Raw after Money in the Bank, Riley and The Miz collided once again, and the finish of the match was heavily botched. There was a clear lack of communication as Riley began to throw random punches, and it was evident that the original finish had gone completely wrong. Even the referee, Scott Armstrong, looked insanely confused as to what was happening. Following the botch, a lot of blame appeared to fall on Riley, as it would never be the same again.
The ref didn't even know what was going on, man. That's crazy.
His push was instantly cancelled, and he was dramatically moved down the card. Number 9, Shinsuke Nakamura. When Shinsuke arrived onto the WWE's main roster in 2017, he was set for a push into main event picture. WWE had plans for Nakamura to face Jinder Mahal at the SummerSlam pay-per-view, and there was a substantial rumor that WWE were considering making Nakamura the new WWE champion.
Shinsuke is like one of my favorite wrestlers in WWE right now. I'm glad that they took the heel gimmick away, because it was not working, and now he has his old theme back, man, and I can't be more happier. Shout out to Shinsuke, man.
Sadly, WWE's high hopes for Nakamura were put in jeopardy when he accidentally dropped John Cena right on his head during a match between the two on SmackDown. This occurred when Nakamura delivered an exploder suplex, and once the match was over, he was rather apologetic towards Cena, and while Cena was willing to forgive him, the same can't be said for former WWE Chairman Vince McMahon. McMahon was furious with Nakamura, and fans believe that this specific botch was where McMahon decided that he would not be winning the WWE title. Thankfully, he was able to win back McMahon's faith, and he would win the 2018 Royal Rumble, but McMahon never pulled a trigger on Nakamura winning WWE's top prize. Number 8, Sim Snuka, aka Deuce. Now, most fans know Sim Snuka for his time in the tag team Deuce and Domino, but
Deuce and Domino, yeah, I remember them. They were I don't even know what to call them, man. Deuce and Domino, they were a good tag team though. They were pretty good.
Also known for a WrestleMania botch that almost resulted in serious injury. One of the most memorable spots in the classic match between Shawn Michaels and The Undertaker at WrestleMania 25 saw Taker perform his signature dive over the top rope. Snuka, who was posing as a cameraman, was supposed to catch him. Snuka failed to catch The Undertaker, meaning that one of the most iconic wrestlers of all time nearly landed right on his head. The blame instantly fell on Snuka, as he had one job in the match and he failed in the biggest way imaginable. He would never be
Hold on. You're telling me that they blame this man doing his job, holding the camera, and he's somehow supposed to catch The Undertaker while he's taking pictures with this camera? Man, get out of here with that, man. Come on. WWE was different, man. WWE is different back then.
Used in a substantial role ever again, and just a short while after the infamous botch, Snuka would be released from the company, never to return. Number 7, Perry Saturn. And whilst Perry Saturn's...
Let me tell you about Perry Saturn. This man This man was obsessed over a mop. This is insane, bro. This man picked a mop over a female during the wrestling, like 1998, 99, 2000s time frame, bro. This was crazy. I cannot believe that.
Run in WWE failed to live up to expectations. He was involved in one of the most controversial matches in WWE history in 2001. Saturn would take on Mike Bell on a show called Metal, and during the match, Bell would botch several basic spots, including a hip toss and an arm drag. The arm drag resulted in Saturn landing right on his head, and instead of writing it off as a bad day at the office, Saturn completely snapped. He delivered real legitimate punches to the face of Bell, and he threw Bell out of the ring with so much ferocity that Bell landed right on his head.
God, bro, hold on, I gotta go back. He landed right on his head. Snapped.
He delivered real legitimate punches to the face of Bell, and he threw Bell out of the ring with so much ferocity that Bell landed right on his head. This was completely reckless, and WWE management weren't pleased with Saturn's outburst. But instead of outright firing him, they would decide to give him the infamous Moppy character, which saw him fall in love with an actual mop. Whilst the storyline was indeed designed to punish and embarrass Saturn, the angle resulted in him receiving some of the biggest reactions of his entire WWE tenure.
Yeah.
Number 6, The Miz.
Okay.
It's always been an urban legend in WWE that Triple H has a personal issue with The Miz. This escalated in 2012 when it was reported that a botch from The Miz resulted in him being chewed out by the game backstage. The Miz failed to catch R-Truth when Truth attempted a slingshot somersault during a six-pack challenge on Raw. It was a miracle that Truth wasn't seriously hurt. The moment The Miz came back through the curtain, he was held to account by Triple H. Dave Meltzer discussed the incident during an edition of the Wrestling Observer newsletter. As Meltzer added, Triple H gave Miz a tongue-lashing backstage about not catching him. Miz was a big favorite of management a year ago because his notoriety was such from Real World that they got so much publicity when he won the title that nobody else in the company...
Yeah, how many of you remember the Real World episodes? I used to watch that.
Company could have gotten. Being chewed out backstage is a huge punishment for a talent. This type of action usually takes place within earshot of other wrestlers, meaning that The Miz would have suffered serious embarrassment. Number 5, Shane McMahon. The 2022 Men's Royal Rumble received extensive criticism from fans. The Rumble lacked surprises, suspense, and the strong presentation of Shane McMahon was incredibly frustrating. McMahon's performance in the match was lackluster, and he would even botch several spots, including his own elimination. Shane was supposed to be clotheslined over the top rope by the eventual winner Brock Lesnar, but McMahon couldn't get over the ropes. It was awkward and heightened how much of a disaster the match was. McMahon was blasted by his own father Vince McMahon, and his creative input in the match as well as his overall performance resulted in the prodigal son being let go by WWE. Number 4, Mickie James. Mickie James is one of the most decorated female stars of all time. One match in 2009 resulted in WWE losing faith in her. James would wrestle Gail Kim on Raw, and the finish of the match was heavily botched, with James botching several moves, including her own mick kick finishing move. When James got backstage, she was told off by WWE management, but this wasn't the end of her punishment. Just 2 months after the incident, she would be dropping the Divas title to Jillian Hall. Hall was virtually a novelty act in WWE.
Are you serious? That's why she won? I watched that live, bro. That's why she won, because she did a botch. Oh my god, so they stripped her of the title.
And she wasn't even remotely credible. What made the situation worse was that the match lasted just over a minute, meaning it destroyed James's credibility. The match was evidently punishment for James's poorly received match with Kim, and it was incredibly petty for WWE to present their top female talent in this manner. Number 3, Mr. Kennedy. A WWE head...
Mr. Kennedy. I love that guy, bro. Kennedy.
Big plans for Mr. Kennedy. He was insanely charismatic and was on paper the perfect WWE superstar. When Kennedy returned from injury in May of 2009, he took part in a huge 10-man tag match on Raw, and this would end up being Kennedy's last ever WWE matchup. In the match itself, Kennedy would botch a back suplex to Randy Orton, and this botch resulted in Orton complaining to WWE management, and Kennedy was subsequently released from the WWE. Orton claimed that Kennedy dropped him on his head, but Kennedy claimed that wasn't the case. and Orton had simply jumped too high for the suplex. Orton's complaint was backed up by John Cena, and with Orton and Cena being two of the biggest stars in the company, Vince McMahon simply couldn't afford to ignore their grievance. Number 2, Roman Reigns. Now in 2013, reports surfaced that the Shield had major heat backstage. This heat predominantly fell on Roman Reigns, as Reigns reportedly had an argument backstage with WWE veteran Randy Orton. It was reported that Reigns had botched a spot with Orton at a house show, and when Orton called Reigns out on the botched spot, Reigns stood up for himself. This was ultimately fed back to Vince McMahon, who was furious. McMahon wanted to bury the Shield on TV, and this was around the time when the Shield's unbeaten streak was ended on a random episode of SmackDown, and it wouldn't be far-fetched to say that the two situations were linked. And number 1, Kofi Kingston. A decade before Kofi Kingston would become WWE Champion, they had plans to make Kingston into a certified main eventer. However, a botch finish to a match with Randy Orton and John Cena resulted in Kingston losing his push instantly. During a triple threat match between the three aforementioned talents, Kingston forgot the finish and Orton didn't react in the best manner. Kingston was supposed to be pinned following a punt kick, but Kingston rose to his feet, meaning that Orton had to improvise and deliver an RKO. Orton would scream at Kingston in the middle of the ring, infamously shouting "stupid" at Kingston. This botch was enough for WWE management to completely lose their faith in him.
That's why he said that. Okay.
And a planned Money in the Bank win was cancelled, and ultimately Kingston was relegated to the mid-card for the next decade. But there you have it, folks. 10 WWE botches.
Alright, there you guys have it. We saw some of the botches, punishments, you know, the wrestlers had to endure for doing these botches under, you know, Vince McMahon. It's obviously different now when we watch, but yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Again, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, guys. Road to 3,000 subscribers, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.